A story of a young beautiful lady named Julie, a stunning 25-year-old blonde, hailed a taxi after a night out with friends at a trendy club. The music still echoed in her ears as she settled into the backseat. As the driver deviated from her route, a sense of unease crept in. Before she could protest, a cloth covered her face, and everything went black. When Julie came to, she was in a dimly lit, cold room. Walls were cracked, cobwebs hung like skeletal fingers, and a faint whisper echoed, "Welcome to the mansion." She was chained to a wall, wrists and ankles bruised. Panic set in as she realized she was alone, trapped. The mansion was rumored abandoned, but Julie heard footsteps creaking down hallways, whispers in languages she didn't understand, and screams that seemed to come from nowhere at night. The driver, now her captor, visited occasionally, bringing food and taunting her about the ghosts that shared the mansion. He'd laugh, saying she'd join them soon. Days blurred. Julie lost track of time. The only constant was the ghostly figure in a Victorian gloom that floated towards her one night. The spirit's eyes were empty sockets, but it whispered, "They're coming for you." The driver entered, laughing maniacally, revealing he was part of a cult seeking her purity for a twisted ritual. Julie fought, but he injected her with something. As she drifted off, the ghost whispered, "I'll protect you." Julie's memories fragmented. Sometimes she was free, running through sunlit fields, chasing butterflies. Other times, she was back in the mansion, surrounded by shadows. The spirit became her comfort, guiding escape plans, teaching her how to manipulate the chains. But the lessons were laced with madness. The cult was relentless. They began rituals, summoning shadows that crawled on her skin like insects. Julie saw visions, herself being buried alive, her skin peeling off in a coffin, her reflection screaming in a mirror, face twisting into something inhuman. The ghost grew fiercer, whispers turning to screams, "They'll consume you." One night, the cult prepared for the final ritual. Julie, drugged and weak, was led to an altar. Candles flickered, and chants filled the air. The spirit appeared, eyes glowing bright, and summoned a storm. Lightning struck the mansion, killing the cultists. The driver screamed as flames engulfed the building. Julie, freed, and tanned. The ghost led her out, whispering, "You live, but they're waiting." Julie stumbled out, traumatized. She described the mansion to authorities, the location, the cult, the ghost. But when they searched, it was gone. Fearful face. No ruins, no evidence. Like it was a dream and never there. Authorities deemed her insane. At night, she'd hear whispers, "They are waiting." She moved to a new city, changed her name. But the shadows followed. In her apartment, she'd find notes, "They're waiting." On her phone, messages, "Join them." One night, she saw the ghost in her mirror, smiling. The voice whispered, "You never left." Julie's sanity shattered. She locked herself in a room, screaming. The last thing she saw was the ghost's face, lips forming words, "They're here." The screams stopped. The room went silent. Authorities found her days later, eyes open, skin pale. On the wall, written in blood, "They're waiting."